There's a new virus in the database.
We have a zero bug attacking all login and overlay files.
Run antivirus. Give me a systems display.
That was 176.
Welcome to this episode of The Rising Cyber. Today's topic will be around ransomware, data breaches, third-party supply chain risks, and their mitigations. As always, we'll dive just enough into the technicality of SQL injections, explaining the current threat landscape from different perspectives. So let's get started. Another major banking breach, this time it's Flagstar Bank with 837,000 customers' data stolen. And it's not their first breach, but it's their third since 2021. Flagstar Bank is owned and operated by New York Community Bank in Michigan with total asset of over $32 billion. With the recent and ongoing ransomware supply chain attacks caused by MOVEit data transfer zero-day, and taking responsibility is the CL0p ransomware gang. CL0p is also tracked under a few different names: Lace Tempest, TA505, Fen11, depending on who you ask. To think cybersecurity companies' ego would allow them to agree on one attribution or naming system would be some sort of a fiction. CL0p gang were also responsible for Flagstar Bank first breach, stealing their employees' data, exploiting Accellion FTA servers used by Flagstar for sensitive data transfer. This time, Flagstar customers are indirectly impacted by a third-party provider, Fiserv. Fiserv is a payment processing and mobile banking company used by many banks. Fiserv breach is affecting about 64 million customers globally. This MOVEit transfer file zero-day vulnerability is tracked under CVE 2023-34362. MOVEit, similar to Accellion, is a MFT, Managed File Transfer Solution, used to transfer data securely, supposedly, and is developed by Progress Software Corp. This is a SQL injection vulnerability used to install a web shell, a RAT, remote access Trojan, known as lemur-loot on MOVEit application servers, resulting in the data exfiltration on the servers. This demonstrates the seriousness of SQL injection attacks, leading to major data exfiltration and breaches. With this particular SQL injection, the SQL queries the user engine user-get-user with email address function, bypassing the guest access ASPX path, as that will be sanitized by calling XHTML clean before passing the function. With the SIL HTTP session wrapper function, setting arbitrary sessions from HTTP. This function has been completely removed now in the patched MOVEit. Now the attacker triggers the SQL injection with the self-provisioned value passed and inserted in the constructed SQL query as the AND email equal value, resulting in the execution of the arbitrary queries. Installing this malicious web shell on the MOVEit transfer webroot folder, some IOCs shows the lemur-loot web shell labeled as human2.aspx, which will enumerate and download data as required. The data is decrypted and gzipped before it is exfiltrated. As you may have noticed, the modus operandi of cybercriminal syndicates such as CL0p is targeting MFT data transfer companies on a massive scale, breaching hundreds of organizations and banks' data in one single vulnerability. The attacks on Accellion, MOVEit, GoAnyWhere is a sample of this strategy, and always starting their campaigns at the same time of a major holiday in the US. With MOVEit starting on the 27th of May during the US Memorial Day, and Accellion on December 23rd during Christmas holidays. Ransomware gangs using the same strategy any other major company uses, timing their product release for better market impact. That brings us to our second major topic, which is third-party risk management, vendor or suppliers, service provider risk management, and what I prefer to use is the supply chain risk management, SCRM. Supply chain risk management is managing the risk for third parties and also from second and fourth parties. Assessing these risks is time consuming, complex, and often riddled with errors most of the time. It's beyond the acceptance, avoidance, transference, and mitigation concept of cyber risks. In the Flagstar Bank example, Fiserv, which is the service provider supplier for the bank, making them the third party, using MOVEit, making MOVEit Fiserv supplier and Flagstar end party or fourth party, the root cause of the Flagstar data breach. Let me explain. First party is your organization, your employee. If one of your system engineers misconfigured or leaked data, for example, it's that first party. The second party is your customer with their information systems. The third party is people or organizations with whom you have a direct business relation with. Any third party that the confidentiality, integrity, availability of your data rely upon and are not your employees or customers. Now, fourth party or end party is or has the same concept as the third party, but you don't have any direct relation or control over them. Now it is clear why using and working with SCRM, supply chain risk management, as it covers your second, third, and fourth parties. Onboarding vendors should go into a tight, strict process of risk management, scrutinizing their processes and procedures, assessing and reviewing their audit reports, and demanding they are compliant and follow certain regulations and have specific certifications, such as SOC 2 Type 2, ISO 27001, and so on. Most important is having a clear end-to-end of your data flow. How and who will be processing your data? What systems are they using? Do they require police checks for their employees? All this should be registered, documented, and updated every 3 months, or whenever your third party makes a major changes affecting your customer data being processed by them. Such as they started using, for example, MOVEit. So whenever there is a 0 day in the wild regarding MOVEit, and your vulnerability management systems are telling you you have 0 finding, you know your data is being affected from the fourth party using these registers, and move faster to mitigate and at least inform your customers if required, and performing your due diligence and duty of care towards your organization and your customers and their data. In this episode, I wanted to highlight the danger and the risk of the third party and fourth party, which we have seen or observing huge data breaches because of that, and wanted to highlight this episode and use a good example and some mitigation strategies and some points to be used for your organization. With that, I will end here. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.
The rise Analyzing Cyber by Chad Sally B.